The past is a story you keep telling yourself. That's it. It's a ghost that only has power because you keep inviting it to dinner. You set a place for it at the table of your mind every single morning. You feed it your attention, you clothe it in the fabric of your regret, and you wonder why it haunts your every step. You wonder why the future feels so heavy, why the horizon seems so bleak. It's because you're trying to walk forward while staring into a rearview mirror. You're navigating the treacherous road of tomorrow with your eyes locked on the wreckage of yesterday. And you call that living? No. That's a prison. A self-imposed cage built from the bars of what if and if only. You are the architect of your own suffering, the warden of your own soul. The past is not a life sentence. It is a lesson. It's a scar, not an open wound. The difference is whether you choose to keep picking at it. You think those memories define you, that the mistakes you made are branded on your very being. You've convinced yourself that who you were is the absolute limit of who you can ever be. And that is the greatest lie you have ever been told. A lie whispered to you by the weakest part of yourself, the part that fears the pain of growth more than it fears the agony of stagnation. Your past does not own you. Your circumstances do not own you. The opinions of people who are no longer in your life, or worse, the opinions of people who never truly saw you in the first place, they do not own you. They are echoes in an empty room, and you have the power to walk out and close the door. The future isn't something you arrive at. It's something you create. It's a blank canvas, and every single day you are given a brush. But you can't paint a masterpiece if your brush is still caked with the dried, dull colors of yesterday. You have to clean it. You have to wash away the residue of failure, the stain of disappointment. That process is painful. It requires you to look at the grime, to acknowledge it, to scrub until your knuckles are raw. But on the other side of that pain is a clean slate. A world of infinite possibility. The choice is the most powerful tool a human being possesses. It is the one thing that can never be taken from you. They can take your freedom, your money, your status. But they can never take your power to choose how you respond. And right now, you are responding to your future with the baggage of your past. You're choosing memory over imagination. You're choosing comfort in the familiar pain over the terror and triumph of the unknown. The future is your choice. Not a choice you make once, not a grand declaration on a single day. It is a million tiny choices made every single second. The choice to get out of bed when the ghost of yesterday tells you to stay down. The choice to face the mirror and see not a collection of failures but a warrior forged in fire. The choice to take one step, then another, even when you can't see the path ahead. The memory is in your head, a phantom limb that aches with a pain that is no longer real. The future is in your hands, solid, malleable, waiting to be shaped. What will you build? Will you construct another prison from the same old bricks of regret, or will you lay the foundation for a cathedral dedicated to the person you were born to be? Stop telling the story of what happened to you and start writing the story of what you're going to do about it. The ink is fresh. The page is white. The choice, as always, is yours. You have to stop waiting for permission. No one is coming. The cavalry isn't on its way to rescue you from the fortress of your own history. There is no magic key that will unlock the chains you've wrapped around your own ankles. You are the prisoner, and you are also the guard who holds the key. The freedom you crave isn't out there, it's in here. It's in the gut-wrenching decision to stop being a victim of your own biography. Every hero's journey begins with a refusal of the world as it is. It begins with the protagonist looking at their chains and deciding not that they don't like them, but that they will no longer tolerate them. That is the moment of creation. That is the spark. Your past is a narrative. You can be its narrator, or you can be its character, helplessly moved along by a plot you feel you didn't write. But you did write it. You're writing it right now, with every thought you entertain, with every excuse you validate. The power is to change the genre. Turn the tragedy into an epic. Turn the drama into an adventure. The events don't have to change, but the meaning you assign to them can change everything. That failure wasn't the end. It was the inciting incident. That heartbreak wasn't a curse. It was the catalyst that forced your character to become stronger. That rock bottom wasn't a grave. It was the solid ground you needed to push off from to begin your ascent. Look at you. You're comfortable. You've wrapped yourself in a blanket of routine, of predictability. You know what today will be like because it was just like yesterday, and yesterday was just like the day before. You call it stability. You call it security. But your soul is screaming that it's a cage. A plush, well-furnished cage, but a cage nonetheless. Comfort is the most insidious of poisons. It doesn't kill you with a single, violent blow. It kills you slowly, one tiny compromise at a time. It's the snooze button on the alarm of your potential. It's the easy meal instead of the hard workout. It's the mindless scroll instead of the challenging book. It's the familiar complaint instead of the terrifying action. Each time you choose comfort, you cast a vote for who you are over who you could be. And slowly, imperceptibly, the gap between those two people widens until the person you could have been is just a distant, unrecognizable stranger you mourn in quiet moments of desperation. Your obsession with the past is a form of comfort. It's painful, yes, but it's a familiar pain. You know its contours, its weight. You've carried it for so long it feels like a part of you. The thought of putting it down is terrifying, because what would be left? Who would you be without your story of struggle, without your list of grievances? You would be free. And freedom is the most uncomfortable feeling in the world for someone who has only ever known walls. Freedom means responsibility. It means there are no more excuses. If the future is your choice, then the life you have is a direct result of the choices you've made. And if you don't like your life, you have no one to blame but yourself. That is a brutal, uncomfortable truth. It's so much easier to blame the past, to blame them, to blame the world. It's a comfortable lie that absolves you of the terrifying burden of your own power. You must learn to fall in love with discomfort. You must seek it out. Discomfort is the price of admission for a meaningful life. It is the burn in your muscles that signals strength is being built. It is the awkwardness of a new conversation that could lead to a lifelong connection. It is the fear in your stomach before you step onto the stage of your own life. Every great thing you want is waiting for you just on the other side of a wall of discomfort. Your dream job, your physical peak, your profoundest relationships, they are all guarded by the dragon of your own resistance to feeling uncomfortable. The future you want cannot be built from a place of ease. It must be forged in the fire of voluntary hardship. You have to be the one to turn up the heat. You have to choose the heavier weight, the harder path, the more honest conversation. You have to run towards the roar. You've been treating your life like a dress rehearsal, waiting for the perfect moment when you feel ready, when you feel confident, when you feel comfortable. That moment is never coming. Readiness is a myth. Confidence is a result, not a prerequisite. You don't get confident to take action. You take action and the evidence of your own capability builds your confidence. You are waiting for a feeling to get you started, but what you need is action to generate the feeling. The future belongs to those who are willing to feel awkward, to feel stupid, to feel scared, and do it anyway. The memory of your past feels safe because it's finished. The story is written. But the future, that blank page, is terrifying. It demands you become the author. It demands courage. So you retreat to the comfort of the known, even if the known is a miserable place. To break this cycle, you must wage war on your own comfort. Make a list of the things you avoid because they make you uncomfortable, and then, systematically, do them. Make the call you've been dreading. Sign up for the class you think you'll fail. Have the conversation that makes your hands sweat. Each time you intentionally step into discomfort, you are breaking down the walls of that cage. You are teaching your nervous system, your very soul, that you can handle more than you think. You are expanding your capacity for life itself. The past is comfortable because it requires nothing of you. The future is a choice that demands everything from you. It demands you sacrifice your comfort on the altar of your growth. It demands you burn the ships, so there is no retreat back to the shores of what is easy and familiar. Choose the fire. Choose the storm. Choose the discomfort, because in the heart of that struggle, you will not find pain. You will find yourself. The universe does not care about your intentions. It doesn't respond to your hopes or your dreams. It only responds to one thing: your choice. And choice is not a thought. It is not a wish. Choice is an action. It is a verb. It is the force that bends the arc of your reality. You say you want a different future, but what are you choosing right now, in this moment? Are you choosing to scroll, or are you choosing to study? Are you choosing the donut, or are you choosing the deadlift? Are you choosing the excuse, or are you choosing the effort? Your life is the sum total of these seemingly insignificant choices. There is no grand, singular moment where your destiny is decided. Your destiny is decided at 10:29 p.m. on a Thursday when you choose to turn off the television and pick up the book. It's decided at 6:01 a.m. when you choose to silence the alarm with your feet hitting the floor, not your hand hitting the snooze button. It's decided in the moment you choose to hold your tongue instead of speaking the familiar complaint. These are the hinges on which the great doors of your future swing. You are drowning in a sea of options, paralyzed by the illusion that you need to make the perfect choice. You spend weeks, months, years analyzing, planning, waiting for the perfect path to reveal itself. But there is no perfect path. There is only the path you choose and the act of walking it. The path becomes the right path because you choose to walk it with conviction. You make it the right choice through your commitment. The power isn't in the choice itself, it's in the relentless, unwavering action you take after the choice is made. You are the sculptor of your life, and every choice is a strike of the chisel against the raw marble of your potential. A choice to be lazy is a strike that chips away a piece of what you could have been. A choice to be disciplined is a strike that reveals a more defined, more powerful form. Most people never see the masterpiece within themselves because they are too afraid to even pick up the chisel. They leave the marble untouched, a formless block of unfulfilled potential, all because they were terrified of making the wrong cut. But even a wrong cut is better than no cut at all. A flawed sculpture is infinitely more valuable than a block of untouched stone. At least it tells a story. At least it is evidence that someone tried. Stop outsourcing your choices. You look for gurus, for mentors, for signs from the universe to tell you what to do. You want someone else to bear the burden of your own freedom. You want a map, but the essence of a truly great life is that it is uncharted. You are the cartographer. You draw the map with the ink of your decisions. This is your expedition. To ask for a map is to ask for someone else's adventure. Your choice is your power. It is your declaration to the world and to yourself of who you are and what you stand for. When you choose to forgive, you declare that your peace is more important than your pain. When you choose to persevere, you declare that your dream is more important than your doubt. When you choose to be honest, you declare that your integrity is more important than your convenience. Who are you declaring yourself to be today? Every second that ticks by is a choice. You are choosing to listen to this, or you are choosing to drift away. You are choosing to let these words land, or you are choosing to let them bounce off the armor of your cynicism. This very moment is a choice. The future is a cascade of these moments, a river of nows. You cannot control the river, but you can choose how you navigate it. You can choose to be a passive log, tossed about by the currents, crashing into the rocks of circumstance. Or you can choose to be the rower, with strong arms and a clear eye, pulling against the current when you must, steering with intention, your gaze fixed on a destination of your own choosing. The past is the wake behind the boat. It shows where you've been, but it has zero power over where you are going. The only thing that determines your direction is the choice you make right now. The choice to pick up the oars and pull. Pull with all your might. The water is rough, the storm is coming. But the future is in your hands, and your hands are on the oars. The choice is to row. There are two kinds of pain in this world: the pain of discipline and the pain of regret. The difference is that the pain of discipline weighs ounces, while the pain of regret weighs tons. You are going to experience one of them. That is not a choice. The choice is which one. Right now, many of you are choosing the crushing weight of regret in the future to avoid the temporary discomfort of discipline today. You are making a terrible trade. The sting of discipline is acute, but it is temporary. It is the burn of the last rep, the exhaustion after a long night of work, the discomfort of saying no to a fleeting pleasure. It hurts in the moment, but it builds you. It forges you. It leaves you stronger, prouder, more capable than you were before. The pain of regret, however, is a chronic disease. It is a dull, constant ache in the center of your soul. It is the ghost of the person you could have been, haunting you in your weakest moments. It is the suffocating knowledge that you had the chance, you had the choice, and you were too weak, too lazy, too scared to take it. That pain doesn't build you, it corrodes you. It eats away at your self-respect until there is nothing left but a hollow shell of bitterness and envy. Discipline is the ultimate form of self-love. It is telling yourself that you are worth the effort. It is the belief that your future self deserves better than what is easy and convenient for your present self. Every disciplined act is a promise you keep to yourself, and it is through keeping these promises that you build the unbreakable foundation of self-trust. Without self-trust, you have nothing. You can't build a life of greatness on a foundation of broken promises. How can you expect to conquer the world if you can't even conquer your own morning routine? How can you lead others if you can't lead yourself away from the refrigerator late at night? Discipline starts in the small, mundane battles of your day. It's not about grand gestures of willpower. It's about the quiet, unglamorous consistency of doing what you said you would do, long after the mood you said it in has left. Motivation is garbage. It's a fleeting, unreliable emotion. It's a spark that might get you started, but it will never keep you going. Discipline is the engine. It's the deep, relentless force that powers you through the boredom, the fatigue, the doubt. The amateur waits for motivation to strike. The professional knows that the only way to get anything done is to cultivate the habit of discipline. He shows up when it's raining. He shows up when he's tired. He shows up when he doesn't feel like it. Because he understands that the work doesn't care about his feelings. The future doesn't care about his mood. The choice to be disciplined is the choice to become the master of your emotions, rather than their slave. It is the understanding that feelings are just visitors, they come and go. You are the house. You decide who you let in and who you entertain. Don't let the fleeting emotion of comfort dictate the permanent address of your destiny. Look at your life right now. Every area where you are experiencing pain, frustration, or lack is a direct result of a lack of discipline. Your financial struggles are a lack of financial discipline. Your health problems are a lack of physical discipline. Your unfulfilled potential is a lack of mental and emotional discipline. You cannot blame the economy, your genetics, or your past. You can only look in the mirror and accept that the power to change it all lies in your willingness to embrace the ounce of pain that comes from doing the hard thing, right now. It is a simple equation. Sow an act of discipline, reap a habit. Sow a habit, reap a character. Sow a character, reap a destiny. Your destiny is not pre-written. It is being written every day by the pen of your disciplined choices. The memory of your past laziness will become the regret of your future. The discipline of your present will become the freedom of your future. Choose wisely. Pick up the ounce. The ton will crush you. To become the person you want to be, you must destroy the person you are. This is the great secret of transformation. It is not an addition, it is a subtraction. It is not an evolution, it is a revolution. You cannot simply layer new habits on top of an old identity. The foundation itself must be demolished and rebuilt. The you that made the choices that led to the life you no longer want must die. This is not a metaphor. It is a necessary death. An ego death. You must be willing to attend the funeral of the person you used to be, the person who made excuses, the person who procrastinated, the person who settled, the person who believed they were not enough. You must mourn them, and then you must bury them. And from that grave, a new you must be born. A you that operates on a different set of principles, a you whose identity is no longer tethered to the memories of failure. This process is terrifying because it feels like a loss of self. And it is. You are losing the self that is holding you back. You are shedding a skin that has become too tight, a skin that is suffocating your potential. People will not understand. They will say, "You've changed." They will say it like it's an accusation. And you must learn to hear it as a compliment. You must have the courage to say, "Yes, I have. And I am not done changing yet." The people who are comfortable with the old you will be deeply uncomfortable with the new you, because your transformation is a mirror that reflects their own stagnation. Your growth is an indictment of their refusal to grow. Be prepared to walk alone for a while. The path of reinvention is a solitary one. You are building a new identity from the ground up. This identity is not based on your past. It is based on your future. It is based on a conscious, deliberate choice of who you want to become. You must define this person with crystal clarity. What does this future you believe? How do they act? How do they think? What are their standards? You must write it down. You must visualize it. You must rehearse it in your mind every single day. You must act as if you are already this person. This isn't fake it till you make it. This is be it till you become it. You are installing a new operating system for your mind. Your actions must align with this new identity. The future you would not skip the gym. The future you would not waste 3 hours on social media. The future you would not tolerate disrespect from others or from yourself. Every time you are faced with a choice, you must ask yourself, what would the person I am committed to becoming do in this situation? And then you must do that, regardless of how you feel. Your feelings are the echoes of your old identity. They are the ghosts of the person you are trying to leave behind. You cannot trust them. You must trust your commitment to your new identity. This is how you literally rewire your brain. Your brain is not a fixed object, it is a dynamic process. Through repeated action and focused thought, you create new neural pathways. You are literally building the neurological architecture of your new self. The old pathways of doubt and procrastination will begin to prune away from disuse, while the new pathways of discipline and courage will strengthen into superhighways. This is not woo-woo nonsense. This is neuroscience. You are the neurosculptor of your own brain. The memory of who you were is just a deeply ingrained neural pattern. The choice of your future is the act of consciously creating a new one. Let go of the need to be consistent with your past self. Your only loyalty is to your future self. Give yourself permission to outgrow the person you were. Give yourself permission to disappoint the people who expect you to stay the same. Your identity is not a historical artifact to be preserved. It is a living, breathing work of art that you are creating in every moment. Pick up the hammer and chisel. The old statue must be broken. It's time to reveal the masterpiece that has been trapped inside the stone all along. The world doesn't pay you for what you know, it pays you for what you do. Your library of self-help books, your endless consumption of motivational videos, they are worthless if they are not translated into action. You have become a connoisseur of inspiration, a scholar of potential. But potential doesn't pay the bills. Potential doesn't build an empire. Potential doesn't change the world. Action does. You are stuck in the paralysis of analysis. You are waiting for the perfect plan, the perfect strategy, the perfect moment. You're researching, you're strategizing, you're planning your plan to make a plan. And while you're planning, the world is being changed by people who have a fraction of your knowledge but 100 times your bias for action. They are the ones in the arena, their faces marred by dust and sweat and blood. They are the ones who are failing, learning, and getting back up. And you. You are in the stands, a spectator in the game of your own life, holding a perfectly drawn-up playbook that you are too afraid to use. Fear of failure is the disease of the spectator. You're afraid of looking stupid. You're afraid of what they will say. You're afraid of not being good enough. But the only way to get good enough is to be willing to be bad enough at first. The master has failed more times than the beginner has even tried. Failure is not the opposite of success, it is a stepping stone to success. It is data. It is feedback. It is the tuition you pay for your education in the school of greatness. You must redefine your relationship with failure. See it not as an indictment of your worth, but as an essential part of the process. Every no gets you closer to a yes. Every mistake teaches you something you couldn't have learned from a book. You have to get your reps in. You cannot learn to swim by reading a book about swimming. You have to get in the water. You have to flounder. You have to swallow some water. You have to feel the panic and learn to calm yourself. Action is the great clarifier. You can't think your way to clarity. You have to act your way to clarity. You have a dozen ideas, and you don't know which one to pursue. Pick one. The one that scares you the most. And take one small, irreversible step in that direction. Not a big leap. A small step. Send the email. Make the call. Buy the domain name. The universe rewards motion. Once you are in motion, new paths will reveal themselves. New opportunities will appear. Clarity will come not before the action, but through the action. The past keeps you passive. Thinking about your memories requires no action. It is a sedentary activity of the mind. But choosing your future demands movement. It demands that you get up off the couch of your contemplation and step onto the field of creation. Your body is designed for action. Your mind is designed to solve problems through action. When you are inactive, both your body and your mind begin to atrophy. Depression, anxiety, and apathy are often the symptoms of a life devoid of meaningful action. You think you need to fix your mind before you can act, but the truth is you need to act to fix your mind. Go for a run. Build something with your hands. Help someone else. Get your body in motion, and your mind will follow. Stop being a noun and start being a verb. Life is not about what you are, it's about what you are doing. Don't tell me you're a writer, show me your pages. Don't tell me you're an entrepreneur, show me your product. Your identity should be a byproduct of your actions, not the other way around. The future you dream of will not be delivered to your doorstep. It must be hunted. It must be pursued with a relentless, obsessive, single-minded focus on daily action. What is the one action you can take right now that will move you 1% closer to your goal? Don't think about it. Don't plan it. Just do it. Now. The gap between the memory of who you were and the choice of who you will be is bridged by a single thing: action. The most important conversation you will ever have is the one you have with yourself. And for most of you, that conversation is a relentless assault. You are your own worst critic, your own cruelest bully. The voice in your head is a relentless narrator of your failures, a constant reminder of your inadequacies. You would never tolerate a friend speaking to you the way you speak to yourself. You would never allow a stranger to belittle you with such viciousness. Yet you allow this inner tyrant to rule your mind, to dictate your mood, to sabotage your efforts 24 hours a day. This inner dialogue is the invisible script that runs your life. It is the source code of your reality. If the code is corrupt, the program will malfunction. If you are constantly telling yourself that you are not good enough, that you will fail, that you don't deserve success, then your subconscious mind will accept these statements as commands. It will then work tirelessly to make them your reality. It will ensure you procrastinate. It will draw your attention to evidence of your failure. It will make you feel unworthy. Your subconscious mind is not your enemy, it is just a loyal and powerful servant. Its only job is to follow the instructions you give it. The problem is, you have been giving it terrible instructions. You have been programming it for failure with a lifetime of negative self-talk. The battle for your future is not fought on the fields of circumstance, it is fought on the battlefield of your mind. And the first step to winning this war is to become aware of the enemy. You must become a vigilant observer of your own thoughts. For the next 24 hours, pay attention to the voice in your head. Carry a notebook and write down the negative things it says. You will be shocked. You will be horrified by the sheer volume and venom of your own inner critic. This awareness is the first step toward freedom. You cannot change what you are not aware of. Once you have identified the negative thought patterns, you must consciously and deliberately replace them. This is not about lying to yourself or engaging in empty affirmations. This is about choosing a more empowering and truthful narrative. When the voice says, "You're going to fail," you must counter it with, "I am capable of learning from my mistakes and I will persist until I succeed." When it says, "You're not smart enough," you must counter it with, "I am committed to learning everything I need to know to achieve my goals." This is a practice. It is a mental martial art. You are retraining a lifetime of bad mental habits. It will be difficult at first. The old voice will be loud and persistent. But with every conscious interruption and replacement, you are weakening its power and strengthening the new voice of empowerment. You must guard the gates of your mind. The thoughts of others, the negativity of the news, the comparison culture of social media, these are all poisons seeking to infiltrate your mental sanctuary. You have to be ruthless about what you allow in. Curate your inputs. Follow people who inspire you. Read books that expand your mind. Listen to audio that empowers your spirit. Your mind is like a garden. If you don't intentionally plant flowers, weeds will grow automatically. Negative thoughts are the weeds. Empowering thoughts are the flowers. You must be a diligent gardener, constantly pulling the weeds and watering the flowers. The memory of your past is fueled by the old, negative conversation. It's the story the critic loves to tell. The choice for your future demands a new script. It demands that you become the hero of your own inner narrative. It's time to fire your inner critic and hire an inner coach. A coach that acknowledges your fears but focuses on your strengths. A coach that reminds you of your past victories, not your past defeats. A coach that pushes you to be better, not because you are broken, but because you are capable of so much more. This is the most important work you will ever do. Master your mind, and you will master your life. Change the conversation inside your head, and you will change the reality outside of you. There will come a point on your journey where you look around and realize you are walking alone. The friends who were once your constant companions have fallen away. The environment that once felt like home now feels foreign and restrictive. This is not a sign that you have done something wrong. It is a sign that you are doing something right. Growth requires shedding. You cannot evolve into the next version of yourself while clinging to the relationships and surroundings that belong to your past self. As you begin to change, as you raise your standards, as you demand more from yourself, you will inevitably create a gap between you and the people who are committed to staying the same. They will not understand your new obsession with growth. They will resent your discipline because it highlights their lack of it. They will call you intense, obsessed, boring. They will try to pull you back down into the comfortable mediocrity you once shared. Remember the good old days, they'll say, trying to lure you back into a past where you were less of a threat to their comfort zone. You will be faced with a painful choice: dilute your ambition to maintain the relationship, or pursue your potential and accept the solitude. Most people choose the former. The fear of being alone is one of the most powerful forces in the human experience. But the truly exceptional, the ones who leave a dent in the universe, understand that solitude is the price of greatness. It is in the lonely hours, in the silence of your own company, that your vision becomes clear. It is away from the noise of the crowd that you can finally hear the whisper of your own intuition. It is in the crucible of solitude that your character is forged, your resilience is tested, and your reliance on external validation is burned away until all that is left is the unbreakable core of your own self-belief. You must learn to be your own best friend, your own mentor, your own source of encouragement. You must learn to find joy in your own progress, to celebrate your own small victories. The journey from who you are to who you want to be is an internal one. To expect others to understand it, or even support it, is to set yourself up for disappointment. They are not on your path. They cannot see the destination you see. You have to be okay with that. This solitude is not permanent. It is a transitional phase. As you continue to climb, you will eventually reach new altitudes where you will find other climbers. You will find a new tribe, a tribe that is drawn not to the person you were, but to the person you are becoming. These relationships will be built on a foundation not of shared history, but of shared ambition. They will not be based on comfort, but on challenge. They will be people who push you, who inspire you, who hold you to the high standards you have set for yourself. But you cannot meet these people until you have had the courage to leave the old crowd behind. You cannot reach the new altitude until you have endured the lonely climb. The memory of your past is tied to the people of your past. To be free from one, you must often be willing to be free from the other. The choice of your future is a choice to walk your own path, even if it means walking it alone for a season. Do not be afraid of the silence. It is not empty. It is full of potential. It is the space where you can finally dismantle the old you and build the new. Embrace it. For the eagle that soars the highest flies alone. What is success? You've been chasing a definition that was handed to you by society, by advertising, by people who do not have your best interests at heart. You've been taught that success is a number in a bank account, a title on a business card, a collection of material possessions. You've been chasing these external markers, believing that when you finally attain them, you will feel successful. You will feel happy. You will feel fulfilled. But it is a lie. Success without fulfillment is the ultimate failure. To climb the ladder of success only to find it is leaning against the wrong wall is a tragedy of monumental proportions. You must redefine success on your own terms. True success is not a destination you arrive at. It is not a finish line you cross. Success is the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. It is the journey, not the arrival. It is the person you become in the relentless pursuit of your potential. It is the character you build, the resilience you forge, the wisdom you gain. The outcome is secondary. The growth is primary. The world celebrates the victory, but the victor knows that the true prize was won in the thousands of hours of unseen, unglamorous, disciplined work. The prize was the person they had to become to be capable of that victory. This is why you must choose a goal that is worthy of your life. Not a goal that is easy. Not a goal that is safe. A goal so big, so audacious, that it will force you to become more than you are. A goal that will demand you develop courage, discipline, and compassion. The purpose of the goal is not to get the thing. The purpose of the goal is the growth it requires of you to achieve it. You are not chasing the summit, you are chasing the strength it takes to climb the mountain. Stop measuring your progress by external validation. The likes, the comments, the applause of the crowd, they are fleeting and meaningless. The only scorecard that matters is your own. Are you better today than you were yesterday? Are you more honest, more disciplined, more courageous? Are you living in alignment with the values of the person you aspire to become? This is the internal victory that no one can ever take from you. The memory of your past failures makes you crave the validation of future success. You think a big win will erase the sting of a past loss. But it won't. You will achieve the goal, feel a momentary rush, and then the emptiness will return. Because you are still seeking your worth outside of yourself. The choice for your future must be a choice to find your worth in the process, not the prize. It is the choice to fall in love with the effort, the struggle, the daily grind. It is the choice to find joy not in the outcome, but in the knowledge that you are giving your absolute best in the pursuit of something that matters to you. When you make this shift, a funny thing happens. The external success you were chasing often starts to come to you effortlessly. Because you are no longer operating from a place of desperate need, but from a place of authentic power. You are no longer trying to prove your worth, but simply expressing it. Success, then, is not something you chase. It is something you attract by the person you become. So forget about the trophy. Forget about the applause. Focus on the climb. Focus on becoming the kind of person who is worthy of the summit. The journey itself is the reward. The person you become is the real prize. The past is a memory. A story. It is a book that has already been written, bound, and placed on the shelf. You can choose to take it down, to obsessively reread the chapters of pain and failure, to trace the lines of regret with your finger until the pages are worn and thin. You can choose to live your life in that library of yesterday, surrounded by the dusty volumes of what has been. Or you can acknowledge that the book is there, that it is a part of your story, and then you can turn your attention to the real task at hand. The future is your choice. It is an empty book, waiting for its author. You are standing before it, pen in hand. The pages are pristine, the ink is dark. What story will you write? This is the ultimate question. The final, terrifying, and exhilarating responsibility of your existence. Will you write a story of caution, a story of fear, a story of playing it safe? Will you write a sequel to the books on the shelf, repeating the same tired plots, the same tragic endings? Will you let the ghosts of the old characters dictate the actions of the new? Or will you write a story that has never been told? A story of courage. A story of resilience. A story of a hero who was forged in the fires of their past but refused to be defined by them. A hero who chose to turn their scars into symbols of strength, their wounds into sources of wisdom. The first chapter begins now. Not tomorrow. Not next week. Not on January 1st. Now. In this breath. With this choice. The choice to stand up, to pick up the pen, and to write the first word. That word is not a grand, sweeping promise. That word is a small, simple action. It is the action of putting on your running shoes. It is the action of opening the book. It is the action of making the call. It is the first, declarative sentence of your new life. Do not be intimidated by the empty pages. Do not be paralyzed by the need to write a perfect story. There is no perfect story. There is only your story. It will be messy. It will have plot twists you did not see coming. It will have moments of doubt and chapters of despair. But it will be yours. And a life lived on your own terms, however flawed, is infinitely more beautiful than a life lived in passive imitation of someone else's script. You have a legacy to create. One day, your book will be finished. It will be placed on the shelf next to the others. What do you want it to say? When your children, or your children's children, pull it down from the shelf, what will they read? Will they read of someone who was haunted by their memories, or someone who was inspired by their choices? Will they read of someone who surrendered to their circumstances, or someone who rose above them? You are not just writing for yourself. You are writing for them. You are writing a testament to the power of the human spirit. You are creating a user's manual for a life of courage. This is your great work. There is nothing more important. So, take a deep breath. Feel the weight of the pen in your hand. It is the weight of your own freedom. Look at the blank page. It is the face of infinite possibility. The past is in your head, a finished tale. But your future is in your hands, an unwritten masterpiece. Choose your first word. And then the next. And then the next. Write.